I am fresh out the shower. It is 5 a.m. and we are talking about Dreamland.
Won't be long. You can hold on to me. I'll guide your fall as you drift to sleep.
Dreamland was made in November of 2021. It was a super late night. It was like 4 to 6 hours. Starting in the middle of the night is when I did Dreamland, and I wrote it all in one night. All of the recording was done in one night, both instrumental recording and singing recording, and it was all part of a Christmas EP that was a surprise gift for my girlfriend, who at the time we were together for 3 years, now 7, and this song has just been such a huge part of the relationship. She streamed it over 1,000 times. It's so awesome, and I'm really glad that she was able to connect with it in such a impactful way. And it was one of the songs that I saw a lot of people connecting to in general in an impactful way. If you go to my threads, shameless plug, I talk a lot about my music and things I've noticed or things I've seen, things I've thought about, and one of the ways that this song meant something to somebody was it wasn't anything they had personally been through, but when they listened to the song, they ended up drawing a picture of a girlfriend saying goodbye to her boyfriend in the deathbed, and it just was so impactful to me that somebody could take a song that, in my opinion, is specific, despite it being so specific, and despite it being such a intimate song in my girlfriend and I's relationship. It was able to be an intimate song to her as well. It was able to be an impactful song to her as well. And that to me is just, that just sums up so much why I love making music. And also, real quick, while we're on the topic of threads, I do post a different series than Breaking It Down called Between the Lines, which is like a lyric breakdown, which I'll probably do some of those on YouTube as well, but it's mainly a threads thing, and I do only have a few songs that have it, but it's because I like to kind of sprinkle them, so stay tuned, but you should definitely follow me on there if you're not. The whole point of Dreamland, which again was recorded super late and all done in one night, is it's meant to be a super repetitive lo-fi lullaby. That time period of 2020, 2021 wasn't super easy for a lot of people. There was a lot to be dreading and to be afraid of, to be upset about, to be worried about. And this was just kind of made to remind my partner that, despite all this, we're still here. We're still working towards our dreams. We're still going. And the only option, if we continue working towards it, is the inevitable success, And I still believe that. I still believe that the success is inevitable. And right now, I think I'm on the path that leads to the success that I want. I believe that started properly with Start Fires, which this isn't about Start Fires, but you should listen to it.
I just want to start fires.
Anyway, so there's gonna be a little bit to talk about in this song. The first thing I'll mention before we get into like the instrumental of it and everything, which this is, I'm still figuring out the format for these Breaking It Down videos. I want to acknowledge how much slower this version is and how insane it is that the other version was so fast.
Think about your dreams, where you want to be, on the beach with your daughter and me.
I had always assumed when I would sing this song, I would sing it as slow as this version. I just assumed that the regular version was this slow, especially because, I haven't listened to it in so long. I think I took down all my music in 2023, and it's not like I was listening to a song from 2021 that I did a lot in 2023. So it just blew my mind when I realized how much quicker that version is. So the thing that really inspired this song and inspired the project, really, it was the artwork for the project, but every time I see it, I think of this song. It was this painting that my partner painted. This was a painting my partner painted. This was painted probably in like December of 2020, and it, even to this day, it just inspires me so much. It's such a beautiful beautiful, inspiring painting, and I remember just gushing about it. Really, the funniest thing about this is she was not a fan. She was not a fan of it. That is so funny to me, that she wasn't a fan. She was like, yeah, I don't get why you like that one so much. And I couldn't really describe it. Even now, I mean, you know, sometimes how do you describe the way art makes you feel? You know, sometimes you really just can't. She ended up telling me I could keep this painting. I was like, can I have this? And it's funny because we live together, but I went out of my way to be like, can I have this painting? Like, can I say it's mine and own it? And she was, you know, rightfully confused because, again, we live with each other, but she was like, yeah. And then I was like, cool. So since I own it, would I be able to use it for, like, anything that I want, really? And she was like, sure. Like, yeah, go ahead. And it ended up being the cover art for the Christmas EP that I mentioned that I made for her that she had no idea I was making. It was very hard to find time to record, especially during those COVID days when everybody was home. That's a different story for another time. Perhaps I'll talk about the old Bloom, especially since it's on Bandcamp. Another shameless plug. God, he's on fire. On fire with this. Anyway, let's dive in to this. This is gonna be the short part. So first things first, I came up with this nice little piano lick. It centers around C and F in the key of C, just like the most basic thing ever. And it just repeats throughout the song. So this is what it sounds like. So that's the piano. It's a dark lo-fi. It's pretty similar to the preset, except I added like my own EQ stuff on it, but I thought that it sounded really great for everything that I was looking for. And then I brought in the lo-fi, the drums here, lo-fi feels. Again, pretty much the same, except I went into this little drum area prompt thing here and messed around with a couple of the EQ settings and compression settings and made it sound like it belonged as like a stable backbone. It's like the spine of the track, you know, and the piano is the ribs, and then all the other instruments and stuff are the organs that they're protecting. I don't know why I said that, but it's accurate. Anyway, here's the drums. And then when you put them together, the song itself was written super fast. I mean, not only does it rely on the same base of talking about dreams, talking about progression, but then returning to the current moment and reminding yourself that it is going to happen. It just takes time to get there. So even regardless of that, it was so easy to write because it was one of the first songs I wrote, like sat down and everything just happened at once. It started with the piano and then I did the drums. Like literally the way it's set up here is how it was done. And then I did this part of the lyric.
It won't be long. You can hold on to me.
I mean, and then and that's also very basic. It's, you know, got a very basic bass with mainly just reverb on it, and all the other stuff is super basic, super chill. It all just is, again, such a basic song, but it's meant to be. There's a phrase I've used to describe this song, and it's simple yet effective, because it's a simple song. And it's not beating around the bush here. And once you add in these harmonies here, which you have the low harmonies first, then you're pretty much done with the track until the end, because you have you have it go back to the chorus,
Won't be long.
and it never takes away either. Everything it adds to the song, it does not take away until the very, very end, which is once again the part that reminds you that it just takes time, but it will come. You get the higher harmony.
Think about what's next. What happens
And then that is it. That's the song. There's an outro that I did where I started playing around with a bunch of different instruments because I was like, I really want like a nice, gradual, soft build-up that feels like it's leading somewhere. And, you know, it started with the marimba that I had. And it goes on to the cellos. Grand piano. And then my favorite part is the flutes. The flutes that start right here is my favorite part. But that's what happens when you're feeling inspired and, you know, you have to be quiet. No, but that is it. That's the song. Again, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed this different style of breaking it down. I think this is going to be the style that I go with more often. I think I found it to be a lot more fun, super effective, and just all around, I feel like I covered a lot more ground than I've covered in either of my approaches of doing this. Please follow me on Threads, subscribe to me on YouTube if you enjoyed the video. Share Dreamland with somebody who you think might find comfort in it. Remind them that life isn't over till it's over. There's always a reason to keep trying. There's always a reason to keep pushing. I love you guys. Keep following your path. It is a beautiful one. And I'll see you guys in the next video.